Hello everyone! Welcome to another episode of SciKid Sirish. Today is Endangered Species Day. Endangered Species Day is a day to promote wildlife conservation and to celebrate protection of endangered species. It's on every third Friday of May. And this year, 2020, just happens to be the 15th anniversary of Endangered Species Day. Endangered Species Day was started in 2006 by the National Wildlife Federation, the NWF. It was made to celebrate the protection of endangered species and to celebrate the enactment of the Endangered Species Act, which was administered by NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and FWS. The FWS is the Fish and Wildlife Service. Why is Endangered Species Day important? It all has to do with the food web, how animals prey on other animals, which prey on other animals, which eventually you get to the point where animals eat plant material. So if you lose an animal in the food chain, its predator and every animal above it dies out. But then its prey, or if it's a herbivore, the plant that it eats will overgrow. But everything else in the food chain that eats it will die out. But if it happens to be a predator, everything that eats that predator, all the predators of that predator will die out. And the predators of those predators and those predators and so on will die out. But then all the prey of that animal will overgrow their population and out-eat their food source, dying out. And this process will continue on until the whole ecosystem is extinct. If you put it like a food chain between lots of animals, or like a food pyramid, every animal in one layer has to die out. But that doesn't mean one extinction doesn't pose a big problem. Every extinction degrades environments. And therefore, it is very, very, very important to protect environments. For example, there's one porpoise of which there are only less than 10 individuals left, and it's called the Vaquita. Its extinction is also entangled with another extinction, that of the totaba. These two endangered species are closely interlinked, mainly because of something called gillnet fishing, which can entangle the vaquitas, and it catches the totabas. And the illegal animal trade, their swim bladders are very costly. Bring it down to drive both animals to near extinction. Though those two animals are not closely related, both of them are being wiped out because of something called gillnet fishing. This goes to show how dangerous the effects of harming endangered species just can be. There are lots of cases where amounts of species are plummeting. There's a lot we can do to help. The best way to do it, and the easiest way too, is to spread the word. Let more people know about it, so more people can tell others about it, until eventually it gets to someone who could make it right. Someone with lots of power to do it. Anyone can do this. As long as you can spread the word, you can let more people know. And the more people know, the more people there are to stop it. We can save these species. In fact, there's another big reason to do it. Most of the stuff you eat, all of that comes from a food chain. And lots of the animals on that food chain are being wiped out by us. So in turn, we're damaging our resources by damaging something that we don't want. One example is honey. Bees are being wiped out because not very many native flowers are being planted. And bees are finding less homes to go to. The bees are being wiped out. We can do this. If we can spread the word. And if we can raise the will to do this and stop species from going endangered, we can save all of them. And in fact, every single living thing on this planet is required to keep the world in balance. The IUCN is planning to test over 160,000 animals for their red list and check their surroundings to see if they should go on their red list, which is a list for endangered or vulnerable to become endangered animals. By now they've done it for 116,000 animals. Spread the word about endangered species and what's happening to them. Bye! See you on another episode of SciKid Sirish.